Welcome to Zoo Tours, the channel that reviews and walks you through America's greatest zoos. Now, if it's morning time where you are, I think I have something that'll wake you up. And it's at the Memphis Zoo. And I know, hey, I know. It kind of feels like we were just here, but I really couldn't wait to show you their Northwest Passage. Just like anything else at Memphis, the biggest reason why I love this, well, for those that follow the channel, warning, I'm about to use the T word again. It's the theme. The neighboring Teton Trek is themed after the Grand Yellowstone ecosystem, and some might think it's a little much to have two North American sections right next to each other. But the Northwest Passage is a tribute to the animals, obviously, and to the first natives of America's Pacific Northwest. One of the best ways any zoo has ever done this can be found right at the grand entrance. You're not only greeted, but dwarfed by 5 authentic totem poles. Each one not only has a different meaning, but each represents a different tribe belonging to North America's Northwest. And if you want to know more, you can read about every one of them in the description. After walking through the main archway, the very first thing I do is directly head inside, because that Memphis heat kinda sucks. The guest space intercepts our first 2 exhibits. On the right side is the main underwater view of their California sea lions. Not only is it a good place to escape the heat, but there are places to sit by the glass, so you can watch them for as long as you like. I know it's for kids, but we decided to go check out the bubble on the left side, and I've actually heard people get nervous in these. But I can assure you that if it can hold me, then it's sealed tight. This beautiful cove puts their original home to shame, and what we just saw isn't even half of it. Now if you go backtrack outside, you'll find that this exhibit faces an entire amphitheater that can seat 500 spectators. And yes, the sea lions have access to this at all times. And at least twice a day, their pinnipeds put on a show. Now they're no Clyde and Seymour, but it's worth a few laughs. And most importantly, as every show has to be these days, it's definitely educational. You'll learn about California sea lions in the wild and how they're cared for right here in Memphis. You might see the cast showing off their balancing abilities. As you already saw, their hops, and as sea lions are naturally known for, their charisma and their dancing. And yes, I did film the full presentation, and you'll be able to see it if you are a Zoo Tours channel member. Opposite to the water dogs, you'll find a polar bear. And as we exit, excuse me, miss, and head towards the furthest corner, you should find another polar bear. Memphis has one of the better ice bear complexes that I've seen on my travels. Habitat 1 is around 6,700 square feet, excluding the moat. Part of the ground is temperature controlled, and if it is hot outside, that 130,000 gallon pool is there to cool them off. Habitat number 2 has what they call a sniffing slot, exactly like the one at Teton Trek. This was originally built for the black bears, which were moved to the Grand Teton, I think to make room for a polar bear family. Male Coda and female Haley are together on a breeding recommendation. Polar bears may live long in zoos, but they don't exactly breed well in zoos. Their numbers in the wild aren't looking much better. The water's getting warmer, and the bears can't always say they might as well swim. So zoos might be their last hope. And hopefully these two are not polar opposites, and they will help their species survive. The guest path is enclosed by a small interpretive village, coated with Haida-inspired artwork. It's more than just a facade, it's also a photo opportunity, and a chance to learn about the Northwest natives' ways of life. The path's right side is an aviary, with a raven that I gave up trying to find, and bald eagles, a trio that were injured in the wild and were unsuccessful at completing their rehabilitation to be re-released back into the wild. Right around the corner is what some call a cultural icon. Well, first you're encouraged to feel the same kind of rock the polar bears live on, followed with a memorial dedicated to Chief Seattle, which features his speech given over a century ago in response to the governments of purchasing Native American land and their carelessness for the environment, which you can also read below. And that concludes another one of our journeys into the Pacific Northwest. And if you're up for another tour, because I know you are, I really recommend you continue this exploration into the Teton Trek. So thank you all for watching, and if you subscribed after watching this, high five. If you want to support the channel even more, you can go to my own gift shop, where right now every item is 20% off if you use the promo code ZOO123. So remember to always support your local zoo and other ZooTubers. See if you can answer this episode's trivia question, and stay tuned.